So I came by this video on TikTok and I thought I should bring it on here so we could all look at it together and talk about it. It's a video by this brother called Benny Ray, and it's kind of like a stitch response video to some of the things that two white men, I don't know who these men are, but they were saying in, I don't know if it's like a podcast or something, but and in this video we see them kind of comparing black people to the pews. I mean, we can say that word because them folks and YouTube gets very sensitive. So yeah, the world we live in, moving on, right? His video is what I wanted us to look at today, brother's response, because he really went in and his points were very, very spot on. But first things first, I do want to say, like, as you guys have seen me do earlier, words are going to be censored because it's 2024 and hell, what words can we say these days, right? People get offended, the platforms get offended, so for that reason, so the video can stay up, words like pews and who knows what else. I'm kind of like blindly reacting to this video, so I've not seen it all the way through yet. Are going to be censored, so we can have this educative moment here. So let's get into the video.
Why is it years later, after a crisis like that, what values and principles helped Jews pretty much own Hollywood, do well in business, do well in life?
Oh, I'll tell you. I have the answer
Go
for
for
you.
it. Yeah.
Come on.
Let
me hear this shit.
It is the most paralyzing thing in black life, what the left is doing to blacks. The left hates you blacks. No, they don't hate you. They have contempt for you. Telling you you're a victim is paralyzing. Did not walk around thinking they're victims even after the Holocaust.
Why not?
Because they knew it is completely self-destructive.
How did they know?
A picture from the 1940s Jim Crow South. Another picture of a lynch mob in the 1940s during Jim Crow in the South. The 1906 Atlanta Race Massacre. The race massacre of Rosewood, Florida. In Elaine, Arkansas, another race massacre in 1919. The forming of Lake Martin in Kowalgia, Alabama in 1926 deliberately flooded a black neighborhood in production of a dam. The reason why Lake Lanier is underwater, another black city. The race massacre that happened in Wilmington, North Carolina, because Wilmington used to be pretty much an all-black city. Now it's not. The reason why Central Park exists. Look it up.
Basically, what brother is doing here is pointing out that there wasn't a victim mentality. Because as we can see from these things that our brothers and sisters in the diaspora in the US of A went on to do, even after all that they've gone through during slavery and during Jim Crow segregation, they were able to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and build things for themselves, thrive in communities. But then who came in and destroyed those places? Them folks. So these people did not have a victim mentality, because look what they went on to do. Exactly the things that them folks in the clip that brother is stitching right now is saying that they could not do because they have a victim mentality. The pews could do it. Why could they? Did, but these things were destroyed. So, judging by the history, the problem here isn't a victim mentality. The problem here is the inability of them palm-colored folks to leave them the earth alone. Let's continue.
What happened and how did the creation of the Dulles Airport become a thing? Look it up. So it's not that those people they might not think themselves as a victim, but they damn sure like to play it. Them people received their reparations. As Germany has paid almost $91.9 billion fucking dollars since World War II.
91.9 billion since World War II. I believe they pay them folks every year or something, like, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to check it out, but they pay. But of course, them folks, they don't have a victim mentality. They did not need any handouts. any help. They picked themselves up by the bootstraps. Nobody assisted them with nothing after all that they went through. They didn't get any starter kits to life. They just, one day they were down there suffering, and the next they were up there, just from nowhere, like this poof. They were able to start themselves up from nothing. But what was promised to our African American brothers and sisters, they don't get to get. They didn't get. And when they ask for it, they get tagged people with victim mentality. We're seeing the double standards here, right? Which of course exists because of this. Earlier, the man at the beginning of the video asked this question.
What values and principles helped pretty much own Hollywood, do well in business, do well in life?
They want to also act like they don't have them folks and pews don't have this. The color of their skin working to their advantage. There is that. I mean, are we ever going to talk about that one? So really, who here, if we really want to put into perspective, the right perspective here, who really is the perpetual victim? A people who are able to build up stuff for themselves from nothing, even though unfortunately these things got destroyed, but they were able to do something from the nothing that they had. That's how adequate they were. Or the people who literally everything that they have today is tied back to the money that they got. Which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not speaking against it. Anybody who gets home deserves to be compensated. So of course, this is not downing what they got, right? But to say a group of people who got that and that's how their starter kit, that's how and why they were able to start themselves up and build themselves back up, and compare that to a group of people who got nothing but were still able to start themselves back up, which then got destroyed, and now you're asking today, why are these people?
As Germany has paid almost $91.9 billion fucking dollars since World War II to them people. You sure can. Of course, you can own Hollywood, own businesses, own the stock market, own banks when you get 91 billion fucking dollars. Not to mention the stolen land that they received on the American taxpayers' dollar.
Valid points. Very valid points. Because who helped them get that land? The UN, I believe, in collaboration with the US. They did not get that still on their own. Not only did they get that money, 91.9 billion, or not only have they gotten that much, even the lands that they occupy and call their homeland, they did not go getting on their own. They got assistance for it. Someone else helped them acquire it. So really, who is the true victim here? And by acquire it, I mean go take it from other groups of people, unalive other groups of people to get it.
When we formed that nation for them and then defend them for it, let's not talk about that. Arm and train their entire fucking military because we need an operational base in that region. I mean, let's not talk about the reason why TikTok is leaving and they're trying to get rid of TikTok. Who's financing that? Who's paying the IAPIC or whatever that shit is? Yeah, who's funding our politicians for that? I wonder. Probably some of that $91.9 billion in reparations they got right there. The House is literally passing legislation right now to combat all of the protests that are going on in college institutions right now for what's going on over there in that region. I can't even say the name because they're probably going to flag this shit.
That's how you know how crazy it is, the world that we live in. When you get to a point, that's the what's the word? The epitome of victim mentality. When you get to a point where someone cannot even state facts anymore. A fact like calling a name of a country, because the people who live in that country get offended when you call their country's name in a light that they don't like, even though this light is true. That's the the highest degree of victim mentality. It's crazy. A couple of months ago, I made a video about this same place that hell we cannot mention, and these same people that we cannot mention their names, and the things that they are doing that we should not say, because if we say that they are doing these things and call a spade is anti. I don't even know if I can say that word now, because what can we say, right? There was no disrespect in the video I made. There was no derogatory term used. All that was uttered in that video was a simple, they run Hollywood. And my video got taken down for HATE speech, because I mentioned them folks and said, oh, they are the ones running Hollywood. That's it. My video got taken down for saying that, and I was put in YouTube jail because I said the facts. The kind of victims, this is a different kind. Rich, influential victims, where you cannot even say these people are the ones who hold positions, high positions, or are the CEOs and owners of certain companies, because that is considered HATE speech. See how confused I am now. I can't even say I don't even know if I can say the word HATE, because I'm talking about them folks. Everybody got to walk on eggshells but when people want to talk about victim mentality, it's the black folks, it's the African Americans.
The House is literally passing legislation right now to combat all of the protests that are going on in college institutions right now for what's going on over there in that region. I can't even say the name because they're probably going to flag this shit. So that universities could basically expel any student that is caught talking about this shit. Wild, right? But black folk think we the victim though. Where's our reparations? And you see how he said the left controls, but then agreed that they control the media, but then says the left media. So it sounds, and then goes on to explain that those people are majority of the left people. See how you connect the dots, right? But where's our reparations, right?
Imagine. They are willing. These people want to go the length of getting students expelled from school because they are protesting an injustice that they are spearheading, perpetuating, and all of that. But black people are the ones with the victim mentality. When you get to a point where the victimizers believe they are the victim, that's the world ivieanitazz lives in. The world short of words. That's crazy. That's insane. I had not. Who? Oh.
Because I'm just going to give y'all a little snippet of it. See, this is why I love being a history major. This is why I'm a history major. Because it's important to know your history. Because you can never understand where you're going if you don't understand where you've been. Okay? Because by 1850, 3.2 million slaves in the country in 15 states, 1.8 million were producing cotton. By 1860, slave labor was producing over 2 billion pounds of cotton per year. American cotton soon made up 2/3 of the global supply of cotton. That is why they called the South at that time King Cotton. That right there. Now, how much did they generate for said cotton? Being the sole producer, damn near, of cotton. Let's see. Before the Civil War and them emancipating slavery, they generated approximately $192 million in the 1860s off of cotton. And it dropped to less than 7 million after slavery was ended. Look how much of a dramatic drop that is. That is bro. Now, you might look at $192 million. That's not shit because you looking at it from now. Let's look at how much money that is in the 1960s. $7 trillion fucking dollars. $7.2 trillion off of free labor.
This is a mad amount of money. that not only did the people who generate this money not see a dime from, the descendants of the people who generated this money can't even ask for a penny from it. Can't ask for nothing because they'll be tax victims. Money that is right now circulating in them folks' side of the world. They got this money and they pass it on from generation to generations. They get to keep that. But today, people want to talk about how all the past is in the past, leave the past behind. It doesn't matter. Let's focus on right now and today. All the people who did all of that are not alive right now. How can you blame the people in the present for it? The people in the present are the ones who are still holding this and multiplying on this and continue to grow their wealth on the backs of the initial creators of this. And hell, still grow it on the backs of the generations of the people, the initial creators of this money. But when the people who the people who descendants from the people who generated this ask for just something to hold their side, reparations, right? Oh, yeah, how can you be asking us? We're not the ones who did the slavery. You people are not the ones who did the slavery. You people are not the slave owners, yes. But you people keep the money that enslaved people generated, though. If you can keep the money that was generated by enslaved people, then the descendants of the enslaved people who generated this money should be able to get something back.
$7 trillion fucking dollars. $7.2 trillion off of free labor. That is damn near pure profit that black people have not touched. Slavery was 400 years. Then that followed up with Jim Crow segregation, which just ended in the 1960s with the they are able to do what they do off a Civil Rights Act that was passed off the backs of black people. Come on, bruh. And they have benefited, and every other demographic, including the napkin women of this country, have benefited far more than black people ever have from that goddamn act. And that's just cotton. We ain't talking tobacco. We ain't talking produce. We ain't talking about rice. We ain't talking about indigo. We not talking about anything else. That's just fucking cotton, bruh. Cotton. So I hope y'all enjoyed this small little history lesson once again from your boy Benny Ray. So next time y'all them folk want to call us victims, how about you read a little bit of their history? Because they damn sure work overtime to delete our shit. And I wonder why.